And because you don't realize one thing about the Europeans. They don't mix. The Russians don't go and fuck the French. And the Germans, you see what I'm saying, screwing the Irish. But over here, if you got white, you just white, you fuck everybody. They don't mix their bloodlines like that. They're tribal. So they're saying America, Russia is pure. And just like Francis Cress Welsing say, that after World War II, they say envy of the white world is Germany. They say Germany is 98% white and unmixed bloodlines. You see what I'm saying? And that's what that shit was about. Pure. So they say America is just a, see, they say that the white folks over here who can't trace their family back to those 5,000 people that rule the world, they are all dumped into the pot of squalor. Mixed seeds. Why you think the white girls is walking around with booties now big as hell? Because they're saying that they're saying that when they really look up, they say the gene pool is so mixed with nigger, Native American, Mexican. There's been a lot of screwing in the cotton, and so they're saying the gene pools after so many generations, they say all this shit over here is a bunch of niggas, so they're going to shut it down. Also, they say they got to isolate the messianic strain. Now, who is the messianic strain? The messianic strain, according to the Egyptians, and according to the Kabbalistic lore, that they would have a mixture of what is called the Great Mixing Bowl. They say that the tribes of Israel is actually the tribes of Africa. But they were separated, of these ancient tribes, so they said that those tribes were supposed to come together in alchemy and make what is called the purified stone or the perfected stone or the smooth ashlar. So we went through slavery spiritually, and what happened is it mixed several African tribes and nations together. And the ones in America is the most mixed. That's why you're the most creative. Because in you got, they say if you go to the Caribbean, they might have 2 strains. Or 2, because they drop them off large. Whereas us, they drop them off small, and they mix them up, and then they had courses of mixture of all types of individuals. So as a result, they say, you look at the voodoo. Now, Milo Regard's book, Secrets of Voodoo, they had 14 different African nations that went into making voodoo. By 2000, Reginald Crossley's book, Voodoo Quantum Leap, it was over 25 different nations that made voodoo. Now, you take the religion and look at the embodiment of a human, the ones over here, because they dropped them off, we got everything in our bloodline. So they said that based on what the Egyptians say, that there will be a group of Egyptians in America in the last days. Then they say, well, we got the bloodline now, isolate the bloodline. So the bloodline, they say isolate the blood. It's the whole African nation, but they got one bloodline that is a bunch of people that unlike anything on the planet. Plus, you got to realize another thing. Now, I'm going to drop this on you. Now, you got to understand alchemy to understand what I'm talking about. In the history of the priesthood, in some Atlantean part, way back before Egypt, they had a priesthood that broke away, and they was trying to create a Christ by mixing bloodlines together. That's what was trying to create the Kusaks Haderachs that they talk about in Doom. That's right. Superman, a super being. So they went, but they botched the job and grafted it too much out of the original strain, and you got the white man. But that was an experiment, an alchemical experiment by priesthoods. Then later on we get the Yaku story, which is just a simulated mythology of a much elaborate thing. But they was trying to create a super being, but they botched the job. They botched the job. But it's like the X-Men say, it takes years and years. Because alchemy is taking something original and making something new. So they created the white man. Now, so here's something that is abnormal. Now, the next phase here is you got this new creation of all these multiple African tribes in a slave that was even bred to even be stronger and all this type of stuff. And then one little abnormal particle mixed in, which is the white man, and you got something that is superhuman now. It is because of that, whatever that original particle that they mixed it is by itself is nothing but some a germ, but with us, it made something. The nigger is the most unique motherfucker on the planet. I'm not talking about the African, I'm not talking about the Caribbean. I'm talking about straight up. And you got to admit, even in our fucked up state, is something that is of another species off this planet. Now, so much till the Great Britain white people now address each other as, what's up, my nigger? What's up, my nigger? So white boys and white girls now is calling each other niggers by something that has been celebrated about us for years of our creativity. Music in the 20th century is black. I don't give a fuck what you might call any kind of music, country, bluegrass or whatever, it's all black. Fashion too. Even the suit coat, that came from Europe or Africa, Nigeria. That's our shit. White man was in thing. We taught him how to do all them buttons and all that shit is all ours. There's no such thing as European fashion. That's all our shit. That's all our stuff, the coat of arms and all that. But the point I'm trying to make here is it created a new super being. Now, this is the other part now. Follow me on this, because this is what's getting ready to happen. So you, because see, we gotta, okay, here's a book called The DMT Spirit Molecule. First of all, let's say the first thing that shuts down melanin is stress. Okay. Well, damn, we stressed out like crazy. All you got to do is stress. Is not to just be out here in the street. Just go get a job. Just pressure. You see what I'm saying? Now, the DMT spirit molecule tells you that melanin is a biopolymer that by itself it can't do nothing because it's dormant. But it has to produce something to become extraordinary, and that is the DMT spirit molecule. Now, what they were saying here is it produces a hallucinogenics, and through mushrooms or through certain peyote and stuff, that's how we was able to tap into it. But, you know, we used to tap into that. All our genius is tapping into this, but I'm going to show you this part. What used to be an act or something that you used to tap into, guess what? Evolutionary-wise or genetic-wise, we have now become the DMT spirit molecule. Now, I want you to hear me right now. Let me try to understand this. In the 1970s, you take some acid and you all spaced out. You was tripping, right? And that's because the melatonin, the acid blocked the rational functions of the mind that allow the melanin to go to another level. And you was tripping. But all of a sudden, what niggas was doing in the 70s as high is now our normal function. Motherfucking niggas is tripping. You get where I'm coming from?